Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya, and thank you so much for the love and support. Hope you all are great. So, there has been videos going around. You all already know that Trump is the incoming president, and he's been taking his time picking up his cabinet and all that. And some people are quite not happy with the people chosen and all that. But then, you all already know that there is going to be changes when it comes to education, and some of them, like the person in charge of education and all that actually talked about how they are going to make the kids pray, read Bibles, and all that in classes in school and the rest of it. And some people are not having it somewhere like, leave my kids out of this and the rest of it. So I am going to ask this because I feel like, how come, like, Bible and prayers are like, what they are planning? I do not have anything against prayers and all that. Well, how come also critical race theory it's kind of violent to them? Because how come they removed all black books from library because it hurt their feelings? Now they are putting Bibles, right? Saying that they are going to one of the kids that are not what there are. Christianity is not only the religion in the world, because some people are Muslim, Judaism, Buddhism, and all that, atheists, and the rest of it. So what is going to happen to them? So let me know. You know what, let's get into this video.
In this country, we've seen the radical left attack individuals' religious liberty in our schools. We will not tolerate that in Oklahoma.
Listen, if you want to bring Bible into the schools to teach our kids morality, first I'm going to need you to explain why it doesn't work in your church. Yeah, because that's a problem. How about the secret list of over 700 kids that the Southern Baptist Church had that they abused and kept secret? How about that? Yeah, that's your morality. How about these 1,700 priests and clergy members? Do you know this is over 20,000 kids that were essayed in church? Yeah, the average abuser in church has 12 victims. Yeah, over 20,000 kids. What about the 600 kids in Baltimore? What about those kids? What about them? How about the fact that 1 in 10 Protestants have left the church over SA? How about that? How about the fact that 14% of people between the age of 18 and 34 left the church due to advances? Yeah. Or the studies that show that 93% of abusers consider themselves religious, and people that are in communities of faith have much more access to children, much more incidents of abuse to more children and younger children. Or, for the cherry on top, how about the fact that studies show that abuse is actually more prevalent in faith communities than in secular environments? And you want to tell me what you won't tolerate? With all due respect, Mr. Walters, my kid doesn't need access to your morality. No, not at all. Thanks.
We've seen the radical left attack individuals' religious liberty in our schools. We will not tolerate that.
No, I don't need to piggyback off of Mr. Global. He's brilliant, and therefore, please go back and watch that video. But I do have a question to Ryan Walters, or whatever your damn last name is. And all of you people who want to put the Bible in schools. I have a genuine question. Why would we put a book like the Bible in schools where kids have to read it and learn from it when you don't do it in your own damn church? Talk about fiction. Some of y'all really want us to listen to you as you tell us how Christian you are while you're not acting anything like Christ. You know he's the first part of Christian, right? Christ. And if, from what I understand, he was never a Christian. Ooh, this is painful. Oh, the taste in your mouth. I get it. You believe your faith guides you to do a bunch of things, and there's nothing wrong with that. My belief in Rao guides me to cut my grass and treat my neighbors well. Okay, so we cool. I got that. What I don't understand is how many of you have that book in your house and don't follow none of it, but you want the rest of us to follow it. You know, Jesus said, when you pray, do not pray as the Pharisees, who are basically are only doing it for the spotlight. When you pray, go into a small closet, close the door, and speak to God. That right there, that came from the mouth of Jesus. And yet for some reason, we've had how many court cases talking about, I want to be able to pray on the 50-yard line during the Super Bowl. Whatever happened to, like, Jesus gave y'all the Beatitudes. The whole thing. Blessed are the. And 99% of y'all will tell you that's liberal doctrination. How? Do you really honestly think Jesus Christ is a Republican? Do you? Do you? Jesus Christ is a Republican? How can you have that book, know what was said, and still think that Jesus Christ is a Republican? I don't think deities have a political affiliation. I don't. I don't think Muhammad has a political affiliation. I just don't. Call me weird. I think Muhammad, Jesus, God, Allah, Yahweh, all of them are kind of, above politics. And the fact that Oklahoma not only wants to put Bibles in schools, but only one particular type of Bible, the Trump Bible. They paid $60 a piece for it. It was made in China for $3. And it's missing a whole bunch of amendments to the Constitution, like the freeing of the slaves and allowing women the right to vote and things of that nature. Which, by the way, I also understand that by him putting that shit in the middle between the Old and New Testament, he just made that Bible inert. A bunch of preachers have said there's not supposed to be anything between the Word of God. This man put the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, the music to God, the lyrics to God Bless the USA, all that shit. You motherfuckers gobble that up, but I digress. Why do y'all want kids to learn something you are not following? That's like me telling my kids about the ills of drinking and driving while I'm having a 6-pack of Natty Light on the highway. Hey kids, you should drink and drive. It's bad, okay? This beer is delicious. Do y'all see how dumb that is? Am I the only one that sees how dumb that is? Most Christians do not follow the teachings of Christ. Supposedly, and I've heard this before, the Bible is supposedly God's word breathed into existence. So why can't you breathe your way to reading it and acting on it? No, I don't. See, this is the thing. The fact that so many Christians seem to believe that it is perfectly okay to ignore 99% of the things that Jesus Christ actually said in the book that they keep wanting in the public square, wanting in laws, wanting it in our federal government and things of that nature. And they don't follow any of it. Any of it. They do not welcome the stranger. It's deportate them now. They don't, feed the hungry. You gotta pay premiums for that. Like, this has always annoyed me and has strengthened my resolve as an atheist. This mindset. This has strengthened my resolve as an atheist. There's no possible way there is a God that exists. Because if it did, by now this planet would be a frosting, burning crater with the level of hypocrisy. I want to say dichotomy. Hypocrisy that we see from most Christians. This place would be a flaming planet. The fact that people still want a book into public schools, and they talk about indoctrination, but I digress, want a book in public schools being taught to school children from kindergarten to college that they're not even following. You want me to take my tax dollars, give it to the state. State gives it to the federal government. But the state takes my money to put a book in schools where my daughter and grandchildren go to school to learn some shit most of y'all ain't following. And y'all have gotten away with this since Paul Weyrich funny face ass decided to bring up the moral majority. No, you all have never been the moral majority. Y'all have been a vocal minority, but that's it. If it's so great for kids to learn, why don't you follow it? Why don't you? Why do you not even try to take the steps to even pretend like you're going to act like Christ? Do you think Jesus Christ was for tax cuts? Do you think Jesus Christ gives a shit about the Second Amendment? There is a church in Texas where people bring their AR-15s to the church and the pastor wears a crown made out of bullets. What caliber would Jesus carry? When y'all start following the teachings of the guy whose name is in your faith, Christianity, Christ, when y'all do that, then maybe, possibly, I'll even consider thinking about having a conversation with you about what our kids should be taught in school. Until such time, shut up. Just shut up. Y'all want to teach kids some stuff that y'all ain't following so that they can get out and not follow it either? Go on, man.
Every classroom in the state will have a Bible and will be teaching from the Bible.
Ryan Walters, the superintendent of schools for the state of Oklahoma, has mandated the teaching of the Bible in all schools. This in itself is not problematic and would actually be helpful if they did it the right way. Teaching it in the right way would mean teaching that the Bible is a collection of diverse and often contradictory books, and then looking at each book in its historical context as a piece of ancient literature. Doing this would require teaching that Moses did not write the first 5 books of the Bible. The book of Isaiah has at least 3 different authors. We don't know who the authors of the Gospels are. Some of the letters that claim to be by Paul are not by Paul. And on and on. If we actually taught the Bible in schools, evangelicals would hate it. But of course, Ryan Walters isn't actually interested in having the Bible taught in schools. He's interested in indoctrinating students with a false Christian nationalist narrative. You can tell this by listening to his announcement. He claims that the Bible had been removed from schools, and now Oklahoma is returning it to schools. That's false. The Bible has never been removed from schools. It's always been legal to teach the Bible in schools in exactly the way that I described at the beginning of this video. What his comment here means is that he wants to return the Bible as an authoritative source for his mythological view of the world. Walters has also suggested that the curriculum should teach how the Bible was a significant influence on the founding fathers and for central principles in the Constitution and the basis of our legal system. The problem with that would be that it wasn't any of those things. The founding fathers were overwhelmingly deists, not Christians. And they explicitly stated multiple times that the nation was not founded on Christianity.
This is all I got from this video. And I mean, I don't know how this is going to happen, if it's going to be all schools. And I am going to ask this: what will happen to students that are not Christians? Because I feel like, I mean, there might still be students that are Muslims, that are atheists, or Judaism, Buddhism, and all that. So how are they also supposed to, like, be forced to, I mean, have prayer? I don't know, but have Bibles, read Bibles in classes and all that. But then how come they are introducing Bibles, right? But then critical race theory, it hurts their feelings, because I mean, I remember that some books were taken off library. Why? Because it hurt their feelings. Because African American history, it's kind of violent, from what I heard, from what they said, right? So how come is this one they are putting? Because I feel like this is going to cause a lot of commotion. Parents that know nothing about Bible, or did not follow the Bible. Like, I don't know, but I am just asking, how is this going to happen? Will there be an excuse for people that are not Christian and all that? But how come? I mean, they talk about indoctrination so much that I don't want my kids to be indoctrinated into maybe LGBT, like some certain things that I hear people say, And then, do they think that this is also not indoctrination? But I am asking. Feel free to let me know. So I don't know how this is going to happen, but I feel like the things I am seeing, especially when it comes to the cabinet and all that, is not really very impressive, But who am I to speak on it? And I just hope that some certain things will scrap out, because there is need for that to happen, And just let me know what you think about it. What do you think will happen to students that are not Christian? And what do you think about bringing Bible and teaching prayers and all that to the kids? I mean, in school. And do you think it's a good idea for the kids? You think it's going to probably impact them? And I just don't want to talk about the people bringing all that to the kids. Like, do they follow what they are preaching? And how, I just don't want to go there. But let me know what you all think in the comment section. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.